Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into something that honestly might seem like just a concert review on the surface, but we think there's, well, a lot more going on here. We're looking at how attending Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour turned into this really profound experience for one writer.
Yeah, deeply personal, communal, even spiritual. She actually talks about it as a rebirth, finding this ebullient joy again.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack how that happens. How does a concert do that?
And our main source for this is an essay from CNN, came out June 27th, 2025. It's called Why You Should Get Your Boots to Beyonce's Cowboy Carter Tour, a sermon for the weary while you can. The writer is Megan Thomas.
Great title.
It really is. And it's her firsthand account, very intimate, of just how transformative the whole thing was for her.
Okay, so we'll be exploring how, a 3-hour performance can tackle something as big as personal burnout. How it can be, like she says, a sermon for the weary. And maybe most importantly, how it acts as this reminder of human connection, especially now when things feel so, well, divided.
Definitely. We'll pull out the specifics from her essay, looking at the personal impact, but also sort of the wider resonance.
All right, so where does she start? What was her headspace before the concert?
Well, she's really quite candid about it.
Yeah.
She describes her joy as being long misplaced.
Wow.
Yeah, like buried under just the weight of everything. Burnout, parenting, getting older, worry. She mentions specifics too.
Like what?
Like being crowded in a small space during the peak of COVID, caring for a neurodivergent child, which is intense.
Sure.
Also, trying to hang on to her career in what she calls a disrupted industry, and this feeling that she made herself smaller over the years.
Yeah, it really paints a picture, feeling limited rather than focused on dreams.
Exactly. It's a very, I think, relatable feeling of just being completely worn down.
And it sounds like she knew she needed something major, not just a distraction, but a real shift.
Oh, absolutely. She explicitly says she needed a rebirth. That's a strong word.
It really is. And she calls the LA show her baitism.
Right. Which directly connects to how people talked about the Renaissance tour, remember? Like a post-pandemic spiritual revival.
Yeah, I do remember that comparison. So she's framing this concert as something almost, well, sacred in a way, a turning point she desperately needed.
Precisely. And look, it wasn't just a spontaneous thing either. There was a practical decision here.
How so?
She mentions her Ticketmaster savvy younger colleagues invited her, and the ticket was $250.
Okay.
Which, she says, seemed like a small price to pay to fulfill one dream. So she saw it as a real investment in herself, in getting that feeling back.
That makes sense. It wasn't just buying a ticket, it was buying hope, maybe.
I think that's a good way to put it. And that leads nicely into the whole communal aspect, which